I've never made a birthday cake before, but this is what my son wanted for his third birthday cake, and I was going to try my best to follow through. Yesterday I got all the baking done, so all the cakes were baked. I ordered some Amazon figurines, and now it was time to put it all together and actually ice and decorate this thing, which I was absolutely terrified to do. I spent quite a while looking at YouTube videos. The gist I was getting is that fondant icing is really hard to work with and people don't do it a lot of the time, which is great because this cake was pretty much going to be entirely fondant. I started off with the biggest layer because I thought this will be the hardest, let's get it out of the way. But before that I did decide to ice the actual cake board to try and practice, which I'm glad I did because I realised how much icing I needed for one little bit, so I had to run to the shops in an emergency and buy a lot more blue fondant for the bottom layer just to make sure I could cover it all. Also, I think you're supposed to put wooden sticks in it to support it. I don't know. I have never been so stressed baking in my life. I usually make cupcakes, and this is a little bit more than cupcakes. I rolled out my fondant icing to the size I thought was good enough. I used my rolling pin to lift it up and place it on the cake. Now, obviously I'm not a baker, so I don't have a lot of cake tools. I did borrow a couple from my friend, but the cake did end up a little bit lumpy for my liking, and I basically repeated this process with both other layers. The hardest part of this process was definitely putting the fondant on the cake and trying to get it smooth. That took an incredibly long time, and I was brave and decided to go with the 3 tiers. Once it was all stacked and put together though, I did have a lot of fun listening to High School Musical and decorating it. I'm quite a creative person, so I really enjoyed doing all the little details. These were all the bits I made the night before, and thankfully I did make them the night before because they took me so long. And I didn't have a lot of cutters or cutters that were the right size, so I ended up having to use my knife and hand carving a lot of the decorations. Then I just added a little plastic figurine, and I'd say that was pretty successful for what the boy wanted. God knows what he's going to ask for next year though.